Frog and the Stranger by Max Velthuijs. One day, a stranger arrived and made a camp at the edge of the woods. It was Pig who discovered him first. "Have you seen him?" asked Pig excitedly when she met Duck and Frog. "No, what's he like?" asked Duck. "If you ask me, he looks like a filthy, dirty rat," said Pig. "What does he want here?" "You have to be careful of rats," said Duck. "They're a thieving lot." "How do you know?" asked Frog. "Everyone knows," said Duck indignantly. But Frog wasn't so sure. He wanted to see for himself. That night, when darkness fell, he saw a red glow in the distance. Frog crept nearer. At the edge of the wood, he saw a couple of sticks with a rag draped over them like a makeshift, untidy tent. The stranger was cooking in a pot over a fire. There was a wonderful smell, and Frog thought it all looked very cosy. "I've seen him," Frog told the others next day. "And?" asked Pig. "He looks like a nice fellow," said Frog. "Be careful," said Pig. "Remember, he's a dirty rat." "I bet he'll eat all our food without ever doing a day's work," said Duck. "Rats are cheeky and lazy." But that wasn't true. Rat was always busy. He collected wood and skillfully made a table and a bench. He wasn't dirty either. He often bathed in the river, although he looked a little scruffy. One day, Frog decided to visit Rat. Rat was sitting resting on his new bench in the sunshine. "Hello," said Frog. "I'm Frog." "I know," said Rat. "I can see that. I'm not stupid. I can read and write, and I speak 3 languages, English, French, and German." Frog was very impressed. Even Hare couldn't do that. Just then, Pig arrived. "Where are you from?" she asked Rat angrily. "From everywhere and nowhere," replied Rat calmly. "Well, why don't you go back?" cried Pig. "You've no business here." Rat remained calm. "I have travelled all over the world," said Rat, unmoved. "It's peaceful here, and there's a wonderful view over to the river. I like it here." "I bet you stole that wood," said Pig. "I found it," said Rat in a dignified voice. "It belongs to everyone." "Dirty rat," muttered Pig. Yes, said Rat bitterly. "Everything is always my fault. Rat is always blamed for everything." Frog, Pig and Duck went to visit Hare. "That filthy rat must leave," said Pig. "He's no right to be here. He steals our wood, and he's rude as well," cried Duck. Quiet, said Hare. "He may be different from us, but he's not doing anything wrong, and the wood belongs to everyone." From that day on, Frog went to visit Rat regularly. They sat side by side on the bench, enjoying the view, and Rat told Frog stories of his adventures around the world. He had travelled widely and had many exciting experiences. Pig disapproved of Frog. "You shouldn't go around with that filthy rat," she said. "Why not?" asked Frog. "Because he's different from us," said Duck. "Different," said Frog. "But we're all different." "No," said Duck. "We belong together. Rat isn't from round here." Then, one day, Pig was careless while she was cooking. Flames leapt from the frying pan. Soon the fire spread and the flames were everywhere. The house was ablaze. She ran outside, terrified. "Fire! Fire!" she screamed. But Rat was already there. He hurried between the river and the house with buckets of water and fought the flames until the fire was out. The roof of Pig's house was totally destroyed. All the animals stood round in shock. Now Pig was homeless. But she needn't have worried. The next day, Rat came round with a hammer and nails. As quick as a flash, the house was repaired. Another time, Hare went to the river to fetch some water. Suddenly he slipped and fell into deep water. Hare couldn't swim. "Help! Help!" he shouted loudly. It was Rat who heard the shouts at once and dived straight into the water. Quickly he rescued Hare and brought him to the safe, dry bank. Everyone now agreed that Rat could stay. He was constantly happy and cheerful and was always there if someone needed help. He often thought of fun things to do, like having a picnic by the river or a trip into the forest. And during the evenings, he told them all exciting stories about dragons in China and other exciting things he had encountered in the world. It was a very happy time, and Rat always had a new tale to tell. But one day, when Frog went to visit his friend Rat, he couldn't believe his eyes. The tent had been taken down, and Rat was standing there with his rucksack. "Are you leaving?" said Frog in amazement. "It's time to move on," said Rat. "I might go to America. I've never been there." Frog was devastated. With tears in their eyes, Frog, Duck, Hare and Pig said goodbye to their friend Rat. "Perhaps I'll come back one day," said Rat cheerfully. "Then I'll build a bridge over the river." Then he left, that filthy, dirty, but nice, cheeky, helpful, clever Rat. They stared after him until he disappeared behind the hill. "We'll miss him," said Hare with a sigh. Yes, Rat left an empty space behind. But the bench was still there, and the four friends often sat together on it and talked over their memories of their good friend Rat.